Hello everyone, what's up? My name is FlamingMouth07. I'm going to be showing you how to use structure blocks in Minecraft Bedrock Edition today. So the first thing you want to do is get yourself a structure block. You cannot get it from your inventory, for it is not in there. No structure blocks. Instead you have to get them from the give command, which everyone should know. If you don't know it, it's /give @s and then whatever thing you want, which we want a structure block. Once you have your structure block, just head over to the area that you want to build. Now that we have our little structure, now we can use this structure block. Now whenever you go into your structure block, there's going to be this box that tells you what is going to be saved and what you can do. And then there's these three lines, red, green, blue, which match up with these sets of coordinates over here, red, green, blue. And there's two different sets of coordinates. There's size and then offset. Size determines how big this box is going to be, and offset tells you the offset of all this. So as you can see, there's this box again that shows you what is going to be saved. Now we want to save this whole Among Us sky, so we gotta change the size. I think the X is good because we're good on width. All we need is height and length. So if you type in numbers into these boxes, it will change the size of the box. The more that you change them, the more the box will change. And this new box is what we have now to copy. But what about this little bit right here? That won't be copied until we use the offset. Like so. Now there's a few rules to the size and offset. For size, you can do no bigger than 64 for X and Z, and for Y, you cannot go any bigger than 384. The offset is similar, except with the size you cannot use negative numbers. With the offset you can. And then there's all these other different tabs. There's this mode, which gives you different modes. If you are wanting to save a structure to like copy over there, then save mode is what you want to be in. If you're going to load a structure and you want to be in load mode. Next thing is the structure name. Every structure that you are going to save has to have a name, and unless the name is unique, it will just, the most recent name will override the older one. So if we name this sus, then it will say misstructure sus, which the misstructure is fine. All you need is the sus part. The include entities button, as you can tell, if you have an entity like a sheep, if include entities is on, it will have that sheep, it will save that sheep. But if you have it off, it will not be in the structure saving. Remove blocks is similar. Any blocks will not be saved, only the entities will. But usually you want to have this tab off. I've never had to where this tab is off because I'm always cloning structures, not copying mobs. Show bounding box. That box that I was talking about earlier, it's now gone if you use that tab. Otherwise, you can have it on. I personally like to have it on to see where the structure is going to be in copying or loading. And then there's these 3 buttons. Save. Once you have your name, it will save the structure. Otherwise, you cannot press save. So you gotta have a name. Export. It's like saving, except it will go into files and reset. It'll just turn all this to, if you just opened up a brand new structure block like this. And then this question mark, it shows you like how to use the stuff. So now that we have our little structure, we can now click save, and then structure saved will appear. Now let's head over here. We can go from save to load mode, and all this new stuff will appear. You need to type in the name of the structure. Otherwise, if you don't type in the name exactly, like if I were to do lowercase sus, there would be nothing. If I were to type in capital S sus, nothing will happen, because the structure that I saved over there, it has all capital sus. So we gotta have that name exactly when using load mode. And then there's the offset, like in the save mode, but there is no size because we're not trying to save a structure. We're not trying to change the box. We're trying to load in the structure that we have saved already right over there. Next is include entities and remove blocks, like in the save mode right here. And it does the same thing, but instead of saving those, like say I had this sheep here as part of my structure, if I load in my structure, that same sheep will be there. But if I didn't want that sheep to be there, hold on. If we didn't want the sheep to be in our structure, then we could turn the include entities off, and there's no sheep. if we just wanted to have the sheep and none of the blocks, then we could just have that sheep there, but I don't understand why you'd have to have a whole structure block just to copy a sheep that you could just spawn in like that. But for now, let's just have the structure as it is. Another thing that you can do is you can rotate the structure in like a full circle-ish. So say I wanted to turn it 90 degrees. Well then, my sus guy is now turned. Or I could have my structure completely turned around, like so. Which right now it's almost like a mirror. Speaking of mirrors, there's another setting called mirror, which there's the X mirror and Z mirror. Whichever side you want to mirror, that's what it will do. So if I want this Among Us to be mirroring that Among Us, we gotta do this line, the X line, to be mirrored like that. Another thing you can do with structure blocks is you can have them load in blocks in different times, which is called animation mode. There's place by layer and place by block. Place by layer, it will load in each layer, and within each layer it will load all the blocks in that layer at the same time. And then there's animation time, which is how long that animation is going to be, or that loading. Now our sus boy is loaded in. There's another mode in the animation time, which is place by block, which it places the blocks individually, which I think it's really cool how it does that. Let me show you. I know that didn't seem like much, but once you have like bigger structures, like say a ship, it is really cool. And I just think by block is better than by layer. And then the last thing in load mode is boundary box. Again, you can turn it on and off. And that's how you use a structure block besides corner mode, which I have no idea how it works. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you liked the video. I hope it helps.